The time is just gone 9:33 a.m. Now tonight on Wednesday nights with Inayet Wadee, we are going to be having a panel discussion looking ahead at the local government elections. Now the key issue here is leadership, and leadership plays an absolutely important, a critical role. And also those that are making themselves available for elections, the councillors, and the need is great. The need is there for ethical, selfless, and competent leadership in public, in private, labor, faith-based, and also civil society. And that is all in a bid to build a better country. Now, the organization called MUSA, MUSA, the Movement for a United South Africa, is a transformative civil society movement that unites South Africans in advancing socio-economic justice. And the mission is to promote consciousness and activism amongst all South Africans to uplift all our people and ensure dignity for all. And we are joined by one of the representatives of MUSA this morning. We're joined by Yusuf Patel. Yusuf, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you, Inayet.
Yes, in fact, I'm actually looking forward to tonight's discussion, Yusuf, and I know we are coordinating this together with yourself. So it has been a joint effort looking at the elections, and this is what we're going to be doing, inshallah, over the next 3 weeks in the build-up to the elections. So we are looking forward to that collaboration with yourselves, and particularly with the upcoming elections. It's important. It's important that we discuss these matters, Yusuf.
Yes, absolutely. I think local government, is one of the critical institutions we have in South Africa, and it, will play an important role in really transforming people's lives, but also the local areas and local spaces where people live in. I think that's really the area that we need to start focusing on, and where we need to really begin to make real changes. And I think local government and councillors and what we do on the ground at a local level is going to become quite important as we moving forward. As MUSA, we started this dialogue process looking at ethical, capable local government leadership earlier this year. We've been engaging with a number of different organizations, faith-based groups, community activists, local government experts, etc. And I think what was emerging is the importance of local government, but also that we begin to look at more transformative approaches, and we start understanding and getting and orientating and getting our, the mindset and the values in terms of what we want to do on the ground, starting to get that right. Because we're finding issues of basic service delivery issues, and that should be done as a matter of course. We shouldn't be celebrating when we're fixing potholes, etc. That's what local government is meant to be doing as part of its core basic function. But we think that if we don't have the right orientation in terms of commitment to actually, focus on local governance and developing and uplifting communities and working together with communities to find solutions, if we don't take that approach, then that's where we're having all these other kinds of challenges and problems emerging.
Yes, Yusuf. In fact, I quite like the idea in terms of the vision that MUSA has, and also in terms of the mission. And when you're speaking about a transformative civil society movement, it is about, as you mentioned, it's to create a consciousness, but also activism. At the end of the day, what are we seeking for? Ultimately, we are looking at socio-economic justice, and this is where leadership comes in and they play an absolutely crucial role. It's not just about a councillor being elected, it's what he can do, what value he can add in making sure that we maintain and we sustain socio-economic justice.
Yes, absolutely. I think we need to build up the capacity also of civil society, community organizations, and how they can start working together with the councillors and making sure that councillors and local government officials and politicians are accountable to the people and to the communities. But we want to work towards a more constructive approach. The notion of local governance is about government and the people working together in a developmental way, in a way that looks at how we can start uplifting communities, looking at the broader development issues, focusing on even in the long term how we want to change and develop areas, ensure that the places that we're living in become more livable, more functional, more sustainable, that we're creating, social cohesion in our communities. And these are all issues that require, good leadership at the local level. And this is what we're wanting also from and expecting now from local government officials and councillors, that if we begin to, exercise this kind of leadership, working together with people and communities on the ground, and not working in sectarian ways or in ways of just based on your political party lines, etc. But really to work with the communities, where the communities, whichever parties people have voted for, etc. Once people are elected, they have to serve the entire community, and they have to take this approach of community development and trying to support communities to become more self-reliant and self-sustainable. So I think we've been tied up also in this notion of a service delivery model where communities are just passively waiting for government to deliver services. What we also want is a more approach where government is creating the environment, a more conducive environment for local investment, local business investment, for communities to get involved more in sustainable livelihood. But where government on the ground is creating an environment where communities can support it to become more self-reliant and develop themselves. So we move away from this patronage sort of model where communities are there and waiting for government in a passive way to deliver things, etc.
Yes, I think, Yusuf, what you're saying is absolutely important. This is crucial because, when we're talking about passive, and we know that actually leads to apathy, and that has been the experience in the last few years. But again, huge question marks would be raised against the quality of leadership that we see coming through. And sometimes it is the political parties who don't take this responsibility seriously, where they feel candidates that obviously are closely aligned to them and for various other reasons, apart from the reasons that we're talking about. Because here you are talking about, socio-economic justice, we're talking about rights, we're talking about sustainable development. And at the end of the day, these are paramount, these are absolutely critical, Yusuf.
Yes, if we look at our constitution, all our policies in the country, we have also very good plans, but I think we're often failing at the implementation level. And part of that is, the need for us to really start focusing on how we want to dignify our people and our community, and ensure that there's upliftment, and we're supporting, the most marginalized and vulnerable also in communities, but in a way that is empowering. And what needs to happen, I think we need more genuineness from leadership. So I think this round of elections, local government elections, is also about saying, how do we bring in, and ensure that we're reorientating the kind of leadership, that we have a more ethical, capable, competent leadership that's going to be more trustworthy, that's going to be more genuine in terms of really working together with communities to develop and uplift communities, and looking at transforming, neighborhoods and local areas in it. So it's not just about the individual services that get provided, but it's about really saying, in an integrated way, how do we develop our areas so that they become more functional, more attractive for investment. We know we've got major economic challenges in the country, but local government has got a critical role in creating a conducive environment for investment. Making sure basic services, etc., in place, making sure that also we're working with community structures, we're dealing with issues of safety in communities. We're creating, healthy communities where there's sports, recreation, opportunities for young people. So there's so much to be done in terms of, in terms of uplifting our areas and our communities. And there's a lot of community-based organizations doing excellent work on the ground. We need more partnerships between government and these communities, whether it's organizations doing relief work or sports organizations, religious organizations, a lot of people doing things, and I think we can create better kind of partnerships also in the way we're working, so that there's ownership. Once communities and take full ownership of the areas and that they're more invested in the areas, and there's a more long-term view. So people want to actually live in these areas and have got long-term prospects in living in these different local areas and neighborhoods. And that's where we would like to see things moving towards.
Well, Yusuf, inshallah, we certainly will, because the next few weeks, in conjunction with yourself, with MUSA, we will be hosting a whole host of programs on Wednesday nights from 7 to 9 p.m., discussing and unpacking these very issues that you are talking about, and unpacking them with people who are standing for elections, with political parties. So we're certainly looking forward to that engagement. And I know tonight we've got even Angelo Fick with us. We've got a number of candidates who are standing for various parties for the elections. So I'm certainly looking forward to that tonight, inshallah, from 7 to 9 p.m. But for now, we say shukran to you for your time, for coming on and talking with us this morning. We wish you all the best, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Shukran, walaikum salam. Looking forward to it.
That was Yusuf Patel joining us, and this is the Movement for a United South Africa, MUSA, joining us, and looking forward to that discussion this evening, inshallah. The time is just gone 9:46 a.m. We're going to go for a break, and when we come back, we're looking at an issue that has been brewing, particularly in the Phoenix area, with regards to elections, election posters, and political parties obviously having a go at each other with regards to election and electioneering.